ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sórí ètò lónìí Oníkòyí ọmọ Adélẹ́dùgún mo mọ̀ pé ńgbà tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ rí mi ẹ̀kọ́ wò pé kí ni máa rọ̀rọ̀ sọ léde wọn á ní àsọ̀rọ̀ ńgbà tí mo ráyè sọ Yorùbá léni tí Yorùbá mi já gerege ẹ mọ̀ pé nígbà míì tí Yorùbá tó bá já gerege lẹ́nu èèyàn ọmọ fọfúrì lọ́dà bí ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ ti ń pè sílé látijọ́ tó sì ti ń rà ẹ wá gbé sórí fídì pé kọ́kọ́ wá ẹ wo ìyá ẹ ọmọ lè mú káàkiri gbogbo yọ ọmọ rà káàkiri lónìí nínú kudu lónìí Bùkọ́lá kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lónìí náà.
Òní yàtọ̀ o òní yìí jẹ́ a special one. It's a royal event here today and honestly mo fẹ́ sọ Yorùbá yẹn but mi fẹ́ tún kọjá àyè mi náà torí mo mọ̀ pé àwọn ọ̀gá mi wà níbi tó yẹ pé fọ́tẹ̀ tí wọ́n nù àmọ́ màá gbìyànjú mo tẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ torí pé ọba Aláyélúwà wà ní inú stúdíò lónìí mo gbọ́dọ̀ ṣó pé ọmọ Yorùbá rere ni mí mi gbọ́dọ̀ mẹ́sàn pàtó.
tí Yorùbá ò bá jáde ayé lé
ẹ̀yin alálẹ̀.
pé àwọn alálẹ̀ kí wọ́n tí ọ lẹ́yìn o pé lónìí alálẹ̀ ẹ má fi mí lẹ̀ o.
Wow, we are so delighted. We are actually elated to welcome today into the studio on the ABN TV Live. It has become a special edition. Permit me to say it's a royal edition.
Yes,
because we have with us today His Royal Majesty Ọba Yisa Olusola Adeniyi OLANIYAN Ọ̀ṣìgín kejì Onípòkíà of Ìpòkíà Kingdom.
ìlú Ìpòkíà.
ìlú Ìpòkíà wọ́n fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ mo fi welcome yín wọ́n ní
kábíyèsí o kábíyèsí o kábíyèsí o ọlágbára pọ̀ ọba ipò tó dáa tí gbogbo èèyàn máa ń fẹ́ gbé rẹ̀ sí ni pé ó wù kí mi náà jọba àwọn kẹ́sì máa ń pé ipò ọba ò rọgbọ síbẹ̀ lórí kábíyèsí.
méjì náà ni ó dáa kò sí rọgbọ.
ó dáa
kò sí rọgbọ.
gbọ́dọ̀
wà jẹ́ kó máa rọgbọ fáwa.
àmì Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ bá kábíyèsí kí kábíyèsí kọ́kọ́ kí àwọn èèyàn ńlé náà ẹ kọ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ pé kábíyèsí ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bí ẹ wúre ìkáàbọ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n mọ̀ pé kábíyèsí ni ká tó wá tẹ̀síwájú lórí ètò tó rọrọ̀ ń bẹ tá a sọ lónìí tí ó pọ̀ gan.
ọ̀dà ẹ ṣe olótù mo kí yín lọ́tún mo kí yín lósì mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tó ń wò wá nílé ṣe dáadáa la bá yín ṣe ẹnu ń gbéyan gan ṣe ọgbọ́n ń dá díẹ̀díẹ̀
ṣẹnu ń gbéyan gan
ṣe àárín nǹkan jẹ níjẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ a máa rí nǹkan jẹ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè a máa dùn a máa dán ojú òní tì wá kò sì ní ṣòro ṣe fún wa ẹ̀yin náà tí àwa bá ń bí ẹ máa rí wí ní sọkúsọ ẹnu yóò ní já wáyà o.
àṣẹ tẹnu bá já wàhálà nù.
ẹdẹ rẹ sọrùn. mo dúpẹ́ pé ẹni kí n wá mo sì bá yín láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà.
dúpẹ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ mi bá wá sí ìsìn mo máa ń sọ fáwọn ẹ̀ pé ilé ni mo wá o second home ni mo wà so ẹ̀ tó wá tí ni wá sórí afẹ́fẹ́ ẹ̀ ó dà pé double
homecoming.
ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ àdúrà wa gbà.
kábíyèsí ipò gẹ̀rẹ̀jẹ̀ ni a máa ń bá àgbà nígbà míì tó ṣe bí òwe nígbà míì kìí ṣe pé kéèyàn dàgbà lèèyàn ṣe ń dé ipò àgbà ìgbà míì Ọlọ́run ó gbé ọmọdé dépò àgbà nígbà tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ débẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ wo pé ṣọlá ọmọ tá.
ṣọlá bá wò.
wọ́n mọ̀ wípé àbí nígbà wà lẹ́sẹ̀ tó wá di odidi ni wọ́n pè ọ̀sìnkín lọmọ wa lóòótọ́ ọ̀sìnkín ẹ já bẹ̀rẹ̀ ta ni kábíyèsí gangan ta ni Olúṣọlá Ọláníyàn.
ẹ ṣe olótù a bí mi ní bí ọdún 52 ṣe 52 nìyẹn.
ọpẹ́ jẹ ọ̀nà tèjì náà.
nílùú Ìpòkíà náà ni ibẹ̀ ni mo ti ṣe iléèwé alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti iléèwé girama lẹ́yìn tí mo ṣetán ní 87 gbogbo àyẹn ẹ rí pé ó máa ń ṣòro láti pass WAEC àwọn ti dọ́gbọ́n sí báyìí àwọn èèyàn pass bíi kàásì nǹkan so a pass dáadáa kódà kì í ṣe pé mo fi ń kọ́ra mi lé mi ni mo ní result tó dáa ju gbogbo community secondary school tí mo jáde ní Ìpòkíà mo ní passes 5 pass ní pass ni ọdún kò ní méjì ní mẹ́ta fail lọ bí lẹ́dẹ̀ẹ́ bá gbẹ́rù bá ní mò ń lè kó wọ́n lọ bá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan ẹ ti gbọ́ orúkọ ẹ̀ wọ́n pè ní Ọ̀túnba Akeem Adigun Sokopa o.
Okay.
mo wá ní mo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ clearing torí clearing ni ó ń jáwó ń gbà yẹn ó lé mi bíi ṣéwèé tó fẹ́ kà lọ́dẹ iléèwé ló yẹ kó lọ mo ṣe ń fún wọn ní orí ìyẹn dọ́là mo wá padà sílé again mo ṣe wá tún ìdánwò yẹn ṣe lẹ́yìn tí mo ṣe tán mo tún padà sékòó mo wà pẹ̀lú wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà gbà díẹ̀ ká má fọ̀rọ̀ pèsè mo ṣiṣẹ́ díẹ̀ ní pápákọ̀ òfurufú Murtala Mohammed Airport fi ọdún 5-6 kò pẹ́.
ṣe as clearing tí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ń gbà yẹn náà
clearing
different thing.
different thing ni mo ṣe clerical job ni mo ṣe pẹ̀lú Lufthansa German airline.
Okay.
So lẹ́yìn ọdún bíi 5-6 ni àyè àti wá sí ìlú òyìnbó bíi
ló tó yọ.
So a ti wà ń bí náà láti 1996 àlọ́léwì díẹ̀ mo ṣe tán ní University of Houston mo ṣe criminal justice níbẹ̀ mo ń ṣe àwọn kan mi lọ́wọ́ rẹ gbogbo àti mo ń lọ school yẹn mi ò fi iṣẹ́ tí mo ń ṣe lẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó mọ̀ mí pé mo máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní manufacturing company gbà yẹn as a quality inspector but along the line náà iṣẹ́ promotion dúró bá ṣe mọ̀ gbélé wọlé à ń jáde so but never be majority èèyàn ní Houston lẹ́nu promoter náà mọ̀ mí sí ẹlòmíràn mọ̀ pé mo ní date tí mo ń lọ ṣe ní 8 to 5 oyè yẹn I did that for about 15-16 years kí bí ọdún bíi 3-4 sígbà tá a wà yìí tí ẹlòmíì tó bá sọ fún kò ní believe mi gan lè gbàgbọ́ lọ́rọ̀ ọlọ́ba yìí ṣe gbà lọ́rọ̀ àwọn tí ò mọ̀ àlọ́ wáyà àdẹ lọ́ra wọn bí wà ń lé ọba ní ṣùgbọ́n growing up kò sẹ́ni tó gbé sọ́kàn pé ọba ló ń fẹ́ di èmi intention ni mo ń lọ senate gidi gómìnà ni though it has been in me nígbà tí mo ti dé torí mo mú ìwé wọlé ni visa lottery ló gbé mi wọ bí pé after 20 years mo máa padà sí nàìjíríà nítorí ẹ lọ ṣe mi ò mọ̀ ń gbà yẹn ṣùgbọ́n téèyàn bá ń béèrè kó máa sọ dáadáa torí ó ṣeéṣe kó ṣẹlẹ̀ so tí mo ṣáà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbégbèsè láàrin kan bẹ́ẹ̀ àti gba fọ́ọ̀mù politics lọ́tún lọ́sí kò ṣáà ṣeéṣe ní ọ̀rọ̀ ní ọbadé ní 2016 bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí gbà ní tí mo kọ́ sọ fún mi àwọn tó gbọ́ táwọn lọ àṣà bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀ but kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run bíi tí abadé nìyẹn ní ṣókí Ṣọlá Ọláníyàn mo ti níyàwó mo bímọ mo dẹ̀ kàwé díẹ̀ léèdì àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run níbi tí Ọlọ́run gbé wa dé.
ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ tí mo bá ní kí n gbé láti ibi tí ń bú mi ní yóò lágbára púpọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n a bẹ̀rẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà nígbà tí ẹ̀ ń dàgbà ẹ ti kó gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ́ra wọn ṣùgbọ́n a máa yọ ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tá a bá nídìí ń bẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ kékeré nígbà náà kí ni àṣejù tẹ́ ẹ ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ kékeré.
ní ọmọ kékeré mo máa ń bínú fùfù díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ṣe wà lára mi sìn náà ṣùgbọ́n àgbà ti dé tí n bá ṣẹ̀ mí gbà yẹn máa fòkò ṣe nǹkan fún mi.
wọ́n á ní Ṣọlá tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ oko yìí náà ni.
mo yẹ bínú ẹ̀wọ̀n jẹ́jẹ́ ni mi ò ṣùgbọ́n tí sábà ti dé báyìí kò ṣáà ní. ṣèjì tí mo ní gbà yẹn oko wọn ni ìwọ ìmọ̀jú oko lọ oko ni. oko ni ìrìn bá kì í mọ́lẹ̀ ò lè dàn mí.
ìbéèrè tó fẹ́ béèrè ò lè béèrè kí n tó tún tẹ̀síwájú.
èmi fẹ́ béèrè ni pé nígbà tẹ́ ẹ lọ sí school bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe humbly sọ pé ẹ̀yin lẹ ní best result ní gbà yẹn even though best yẹn náà.
páàsì ni gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀.
kí ni best result yín best subject yín and why.
English language matter of fact literature mo yẹ ti máàsì bíi kàásì nǹkan ní ìsìn mọ́ títí dọ́là lọ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ 2+4 lọ́yìn ní mi lè má lè mọ̀.
àbá wọn ǹtẹ́ fi mọ̀ wá èèyàn mọ̀ owó lẹ̀ ní $10 plus $80.
ilé tí owó kà tó wájú yẹn.
So you like literature?
Literature àti English language.
So ẹ máa ń kàwé gan-an.
mo máa ń kà mo máa ń gbé.
àwọn wo ni favourite authors yín?
Well nígbà yẹn we basically focus on our literature tank can school, you know. Ngugi wa Thiong'o and Wole Soyinka, you know, all those. But at the point, I pick up a couple of other, you know, bestsellers. Mostly, you know, like Latmaka. I don't care what bestsellers is. And I like to read history. You know, history by at least past leaders. I love to do that a lot.
Okay, for those that are watching us, we are with the KBC, the Onipokia of Ipokia Kingdom, and his name is Oba Olusola. Yisa OLANIYAN, and he has been on the throne for about maybe 4 or 5 years now, and we give glory to Almighty God. He's one of us here in Houston, Texas. He actually said he studied criminal justice here in Houston, Texas. Yes, and now he's back as king. So no more criminal justice, I mean. Oh, le go back
Ọba ti mú criminal.
Ọba ti mú
Ọba ti di judge.
Ọba ti di judge, right? Ọba dájọ́ ni. So as it is now, we have a lot of things you have done in Houston. So in growing up in Houston, because I can see that you've been in Houston for a long
life.
So growing on in Houston, what are the things that are easy to do and what are the things that are not easy to do then?
Houston is like a home for most Africans. You know, I was talking to a gentleman who was visiting in Colorado a couple of days, and then he actually wanted to run away from that place. The reason being the weather. You know, first thing, our weather is friendly. You know, and then apart from that, as a family man, I think Houston, I don't know about other states, is the best place to raise children. You know, lower crime, the environment is homely. It's like, well, you know, the weather is, like I said, I talked about the weather earlier, but you can easily raise your kids in Houston. And then the laws we have favor business people.
Wow.
You know, so I've been here, I went through that, and I can tell you that. And Houston is big. It's a big city. So if you live in a big city, you have a lot of advantages. And being a conservative state, you know, people don't know. You think about the negativity behind it, but it gives a lot of opportunities to everyone, you know, business people, individuals, as long as you know how to tap, you know, into the opportunity. But we don't usually get to know that. We don't find out. So Houston is a home for African who wants to grow in every area. That's why you see churches and businesses growing every now and then.
Okay, you said something the other time that you've been to school and you are still doing the promotional job. A lot of people see you as a promoter. They don't even know you have that job.
No, don't.
Okay. that means the job is just
passion.
The promotion.
The promotion is the passion. What kind of artists have you ever promoted? And if you don't mind, let's know if you remember the years you promoted them, or if you don't, it's okay. So let's know those that you've promoted and what are their names and all that.
Well, thank you. We started off in, I think it was 2004, 2005, thereabout. I had a friend who actually introduced me into the promotion thing. But let me start from the beginning. Initially, I love acting.
Okay.
And I thought I could act.
Yes,
exactly. So they now invited us for a gentleman here in Houston called Papa G. Him and I went for audition. This person came from Nigeria. I said, I'm looking for artists. And I said, yes, I want to act. He gave me a script. We were reading. When it was time for me to act, go drink water. I go drink water. I just go for budget. This is not my way. But I still love promotion and African culture and all that thing. So I sat down like, what else can I do? So there was this, I think it was 2005 or 2000, I forgot. This guy that I was talking about, his name is Alpha Omega.
Alpha Omega.
I didn't know, that's his name.
Okay.
Brought in this artist and, you know, I said, if you need some help, let me know. So finally, he brought some of them to Houston, and then after that, we started working together. You know, we went around almost, you know, about 5-6 states in the United States, and then we went to Canada. So, you know, we got talking, and then he said, if you're interested in this thing, I can, you know, work with you. And I said, no, I'm not ready yet. So I withdrew after a while. Then I went and talked about it, and I said, okay, I love promotion, I love African culture, and I would contribute my own quota. I think promotion is the best way. Since I cannot act, I can do that.
Since you already agreed now.
That's what I knew. No, don't be my way. You know, so we started, and that's how I got into it. So, you know, based on the question you asked, I started with Queen Ayo Balogun. We brought her in 2009, you know, with a whole bunch of Nollywood artists. I think Fitche Balogun was part of them, Runke Oshidoke, Babaluwe, and we had shows for Queen Ayo Balogun. We had, I think, what's it called? Premiere for some of them. Okay. So that's how we started. I think it was 2009. And then after that, I've worked with a couple of other artists. I think after that, it was Chef Alao that came. Then I've promoted Sule Alao Malaika. Then when Dami Crane came, the mom stayed here. We worked together. A couple of other ones that we can't remember right now. But it's been a long journey. And in 2015, we thought we've done enough in promotion. We want to, move up and step up our game. So we created Abia Awards. And that's how Abia Awards took over, as a main event for every year. Now we just concluded one, John, which you were part of too.
We actually transmit it on this channel. So a lot of people watch it.
Thank you. So let me just stop. So far that's
we're still coming to Abia.
Okay.
I just want to know the promotional part of it.
Okay.
You have a question for the promotion part. You can go ahead.
Sister, go ahead.
I was just wondering, okay, when you promote people, I know you love to do it and it's a passion.
Yes.
But what is in it for you? Apart from that, oh yes, what is the...
There's this thing about life that I learned, and though it's not easy, but at the same time, I think it helps at the end of the day. I don't like the attitude of what is in it for me. You don't want to be losing money or just walking and getting yourself in trouble. But there's a belief that if you like to do something, if you love it, and you keep doing it time over time, you will end up benefiting from it. Let me give you an example. So, to God's glory, today I have a name. I can boastfully say that. And if it's not because of the project or the promotion that I got into, maybe nobody will know me today. So I've benefited that from it. There are some doors that I will not knock before I even enter. Now, in Nigeria, even in the US, that if you mention my name, say, I know that guy. I have not been making money. I know that we've been losing money. But you have to do some lay foundation for some things. We've just done it for like 5-6 years. And every year it gets better. We actually had a break in 2020. We had a break 2020 and 2021 because of COVID.
The pandemic, yeah.
Just came back this year again. Your question is quite clear. We have not been making profit on it, but we've been able to impact lives. Every time I go to Nigeria, especially among Yoruba Nollywood, they tell you, say, he has taken over 90% of us to America. That's a joy for me. I've given people chances. The last event we had, 2018, there was a woman that we gave an award. She was crying on the stage because she said, if it's left for them to pick, nobody will even remember her. And I was watching her and I said, Auntie, this woman, she has done a lot. Call her. Yeah, your car look at it.
Oh, Auntie Ayoka.
She busted it. And she now come to America. She just her visa again. She's coming. So things like that will give you joy. And then you can even get blessed through other means. Because I met a person who was giving me, I told one of my people, 5 million naira in Nigeria. The guy just looked at me just like you asked. Kill him band. When I command so woman, it's like killing she. Such a lack of cabbage. Never see 1 year, never see over die 5 million naira he gave me. I don't So it's not sometimes it's not about what is in it for you. It's about you impacting lives, especially me now because of culture, bringing African culture to people in the United States. So it's something I want to continue to do, and hopefully very soon we'll start getting that help that we need from people. I hope that answers your question, sister.
Yes, so that's very deep.
Thank you.
That's very deep.
That is these popular artists that have been trying to get into America for a long time.
Okay.
And fortunately enough, you were the one that was able to bring him down here. His name is Odunlade Adekola.
Oh, wonderful guy.
How do you do it?
That's Election Bar.
That's Election Bar on the Netflix now.
I spoke to him this morning. Wonderful guy.
Oh yeah.
Well, see one thing about coming to the US is once you have a no, once you are denied a visa once. You begin to be their customer. Because then they start looking at some things that they haven't been looking at. So that was the issue with him. It's not him alone. It's peculiar to a lot of people. They have the standard. If you don't meet the requirements, you do not. But we thank God that 2016, I think God said there was time for him to come, and he went through a lot. Even when it was a day before, for him to go to the airport and check in. I think there is some issue with the ticket. So when I called Odun, I said, Odun, you have to be patient with us. So this ticket, he said, Baba, do you remember how many years I've been waiting for this? So, but we thank God he comes and goes now. He's easily, and he's doing very well for himself and his family.
This is a good story for people to hear and be happy that someone somewhere is doing something to make people happy. Yeah. If you can understand very well what he was saying, he's not saying that he's making the money. He's not making the money at all, but it's making happiness. Happiness that comes through the people. That's what is his joy. And that's what I'm trying to say. Whenever you have opportunity to make somebody happy, please do not hesitate. This man is doing this without even expecting anything. But see what has happened now. He's no more the promoter that you normally know, but the king, the custodian of a whole kingdom. You see what I'm talking about? And when he said it, if I get you right, you said it was this that you are doing that actually helped in the installation as a king.
Yeah, I mean, that I actually didn't mention that, but you know what? In this day and age, if you're looking for a leader or someone who you want to put in touch of something, a lot of time people, the youths will have a say. Before I got to my town, I've been told that the youth have said they want someone who's exposed, who's educated, young, and
You
all
see?
that. And all that criteria I check.
You check.
Check.
Just check.
And nobody was even close. So I was just saying, that's why if you do check the election that we had, the kingmakers were 5. They all voted for me. Because those were the Bebashi with the Baba.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
I can tell you that what I've been doing to help people, especially the promotion, play a role in it, plus the education and, exposure and all that. So I'll borrow from you whatever you're doing to help people. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
It's not the person that you're helping that will pay you back. And that should even call a man son. But unfortunately, I might do go to repair.
Kábíyèsí, ká padà sórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọ́ọ̀dù tá à ń ṣe yìí. Àwọ́ọ̀dù yìí kò ń ṣe pé nǹkan tẹ̀ kàn jíjọ́ kan pé òun kì í máa ṣàwọ́ọ̀dù. Your intention was just to make people happy by promoting people. A máa ń jọ rántí ipa àtijọ́ jókòó dáadáa tá à ń jọ máa ṣe àwọn olórin ló kọrin. A pé ìrántí mọ́ náà ni. A pé ọmọ yìí Igwe Fuji Rẹ̀mí Àlùkò.
Àwọn èèyàn kọ̀tà jọ pé ìrántí mọ́ ni.
Mo sáré pé nígbà tẹ ẹ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà kan lèmi ń sunú mọ́tò nìkan lẹ̀ dákọ̀. So nígbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ń wọlé, àwọn èèyàn ṣe bí owó ń wọlé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. A lot of people are in that mess right now that they are into promotion and they believe this money is not coming. How do these people do it? Can you please shed more light on it if it is something that is doable for some other people that is intended to do it?
Well, thank you. There is money in promotion, but you have to know what you're doing. First of all, limit what you want to spend. And when I say limit, let me start with the artists who are like traditional artists, Fuji, Juju, where you can bring in and then they can, you spray them money. Make sure you have agreement on what you take and what the the singer gets, and agreement has to also cover accommodation, feeding, and ticketing. And now, don't bring an artist that will not draw crowd. Don't go and say because you want to be popular. Bring someone who will draw crowd. You will make money if you plan it well. A lot of time it goes wrongly because what we're doing is business is dakudajini. Dakudaji in the sense that I remember one time I've forgotten which artist it was, and it was during the cold weather, and the weather was okay in the afternoon. We were getting everything ready, and I had this friend of mine who has moved out of history now. He was there helping. We would arrange chairs to get everything. And then, so it was time around 8 o'clock night for the singer to come in and started doing his stuff. So I was there waiting at the show and all that. The tutu ibabere.
Hey.
One pay when to buy aluminum ticket $20, $25. But about where that one time, how long?
Oh, fuck, $25.
Yeah, can you want to money loan? So I was waiting. The singer was at the hotel. I said, don't bring him until the house is
It's
still
full.
up and moving. So, you know, I was letting my friend could come by and just say, wow, like my show. So 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was waiting for this guy to come. And I'll put the call through and I said, I'm going in below one now. Why am I today? Only in Bono. Ibo ni mo wà tí wọ́n mọ̀. Mo ní owó wà lẹ́ ní ohun tí wà ń lè. Ó ní iṣẹ́ mi rán iṣẹ́ ni. Ṣé bá jọ tó ó ní mo ti ṣe tí fẹ́ ṣe fún ẹ mo ti ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn mẹ́ta rúbẹ̀ tó ṣá ṣé mi ọgbẹ́ni òtútù tó ń ṣàmì ìbàdàn.
Jesus.
So what I'm saying is it will happen like that. You get disappointment. The weather might cause it. It might start raining. So you have to take limited risk. But at the end of the day, if you do it right, you make some money on it. Now, our event is a bigger
thing entirely.
It's different. Ticket selling will not do it. We will not do it. I don't know how you want to do that. You will lose money. So the most important thing is, okay, even if it's 200, 150 from, you know, small businesses, if you do that well, you can recoup some change. But the most important part is to get a major sponsor to back you up. Otherwise, it's not a walk in the park. It's not a joke. I know what I've been through in the last 5 years.
Okay.
You know, there was one time at home where me and Madame had an argument. Because we always have but we thank God where we are today. So it's not something that you want to really take as a serious business. But it gives you name. But if you have an artist who, you know, can draw a crowd and then people will come out, make enough publicity and start on time. Yeah, you then, like I said, what's your budget? And have an agreement with the artist, because we always have problems with that. Artists coming from Nigeria, they want to money. As well, I hit it like. I don't know. So it's a good thing, you know. So it's fun. It's fun. The fun won't make you money. Okay. So if you can't stand the heat, don't go to the kitchen. You know. Yeah, simple.
All right. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lọ sórí Abia gangan.
Yes, sir.
Abia ti di mélòó báyìí.
Ó yẹ kó di ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹjọ, but because I break 2020 and 2021, so ẹ̀kẹfà la ṣe ṣe tán.
Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹfà.
6th edition, yes.
From the 1st to the 6th edition, which one do you think is best the way you would have wanted it to be?
Well, if I say the best so far, I'll say the one I did not attend, which was 2019, because you guys made it happen. I was so glad. I saw some names that I never thought would probably. I saw Zakoji, Feda Mata, Bob Manu Doku, Michelle Niga were here. You know, all of them were here. So, you know, I said the best. But if you want me to pick the one that I actually thank God for, is the one that we just concluded, because we're back.
We are back.
It was not what we're looking at. We had a lot of logistic problems, visa and all that, you know, but we were able to make it happen because we're only planning under 2 months. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm glad that we're back and we'll continue to get better from this point forward.
Yeah, don't see me as why is he asking this question?
Yeah, no, please.
Feel free. I want it to be known to all other people that this event is always being single-handedly taken care of by somebody. You understand me? But now that you are the custodian of culture now, I think that you are doing this in America should be a wow for the government. Is there any way you can put it across to the government, or do they? Is it something that you think they will want to buy the idea, or they don't even like it?
They want to. They actually bought into it this year. We just didn't. We couldn't get them to release funds, and we were told. I'm not saying this officially, but I think it has to do with the fact that this is election year, and it will be hard to get the money from any government in Nigeria now because they want money for election. But we were approved. Our proposal was taken, and we, you know, at the point they look at the number that we presented, and the guy was asking, "Do you think this much money will do what you are doing? That we know how much money they are spending, and you are taking people overseas." And my guy who went there was saying, "No, this one is not for state." He was so smart. He said, "This one is for corporate and for government. More money unlimited. If I bring 1 billion." So the man laughed and said, "Okay, we'll get back to it." But we weren't able to get them to release the fund. So that's why we delayed until 2 months before we started running Help Us Get. You know what I'm talking about. But going forward, they have shown interest because there's always the Ministry of Culture and Tourism in every state, even the federal level. So they spend that money somewhere. So we want to get part of it, and we're working on it.
At least it's going to be something that when they are part of it, their names and everything will always be mentioned.
That our pamphlet, logo, state, and the governor will be there, and that's and then they can even use that platform to tell people who are indigenous of that Nigeria, this is what we've been doing for our state too. And then, I even told them, I said, you can campaign there. It's go there and say, come on, look on. But they're buying into it, and we'll continue to push for that so that we'll have money to spend and get the best in from time to time.
Do you have anything to say before I continue? I don't want it to be me alone.
I was just looking at okay, the next one is going to be the 7th.
Yes. Yeah.
And there is this belief where 7 is a number of perfection.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to the planning, I believe, has started because you mentioned that at the Abia, I think the night of the award, that you're starting to plan for next year.
Day.
Since that,
Thank you for noting that.
So we are very expectant. Kinika expect.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should expect that after this one that we had, that we thank God that we've done, which is not the standard of we want to have, we have to do better. We need to pull more artists on board. It has to be the bump, like Americans would say. So. But the most part of it, the major part of it, that this discussion is for us to pray to God Almighty to spare our lives beyond next year. Yes, until we're involved, before I go, we'll have a meeting and we'll appeal to you to keep telling our people, Abia 2023, you don't want to miss it, but we'll have to get some information for you to work with. For example, the host of the event and the venue. And then from there, we'll start kicking it. And for us, it's left for the dates, for interview and everything, and other big artists that we want to be on ground. Because for you to come there and spend $50, who are you coming to see? That's the problem. There must be a reason. We have to be honest with ourselves. Who are you coming to see? It's not just 2, 3. It has to be a barrage of artists that we used to have in the past. So we're working on it, and we'll be much better next year. Along.
All right. You said something, and I want to go back to that thing. Yes, you said when you do Ore for this one, do not expect it from this one. It might be this one that is going to pay.
It won't be good.
That's God that
will direct us. Yes, exactly.
So I want to see you as somebody that have been able to have a joyful discussion with different kind of artists. Out of all the artists, who would you prefer to say, I won't mind to have him and have him more? Abi, this one, is there anything like that? If there is, let's know.
Well, it's always going to be a situation. There's always like that. But the fact remains, as Oba, as custodian of culture, Oba Kibinu, only bitali, fear onu homo, yani gbogbo and to sheun to do your leni. And I've met hundreds of them. I mean, a lot of them, but human beings are different one person to another. And I want to shy down, we still have to cross our path tomorrow. We'll still do the same thing, but we just watch them. There are some that I would like to mention, but I don't want to go there. Like say this person, one of them, told me that the problem with our people, and it's not only in the industries, most people are ungrateful. They don't remember who was helping. So the man went as far as saying that some of them, if you give them 10,000, is your money. You are giving that person 10,000. They'll collect it and go. By the time they move to the next person, that person gives them 50. They've forgotten that
10,000.
The next one, 100,000. I'll make
just forget it.
But they've forgotten that the person that gave you 10,000 can give you 1 million. That person has.
Ben.
So on that point, we'll still treat everybody as. But demo la fẹ́ wà orí ló mi ò rọ́kàn mi àwọn ọmọ intervention kábíyèsí ti sọ̀rọ̀ àgbà
ọ̀rọ̀ àgbà nìyẹn o.
bẹ́ẹ̀.
Okay, ká bá a lọ jìnnà ká padà á sí pé you as a person that have been in America for a long time now.
Yes.
Now your abode is in Nigeria now. Not even in Lagos. Not even in Abuja. So how do you manage to, I mean, what are the things, let me just ask for the difference between the two now. Then how do you live in that place?
Two things. First of all, if you have money, you can make yourself comfortable anywhere in the world.
Yes.
You know, and you all know that in Nigeria, the weather is hot, but then if you move to let's say village side, it's cool. It's okay. There's a lot of things to enjoy there. Now, it's hard to adjust. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
It's very hard. It'll take you some time because you just see darkness. Kill out collide.
Kábíyèsí wò ta kò sí náà.
Ṣé náà wà ní kò ń gbà mí gan?
Ká tó wá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
So up till now, I still run generator 24/7.
Oh my God.
And I know how much I spend on that. But you know what keeps me going? And that's the reason. I told my people severally, the love, the affection is overwhelming. You remember my story? You remember? I stayed, every time I have an opportunity to go meet with fellow Obas, I tell them, I boastfully say, about 15 months. Wow.
That's 1 year and...
Yes, 1 year and 3 months.
Wow.
Go find out, because then we had issues with the government, not issue with the government, but the government just came as a new government who was supposed to go through for ESCO meeting to give us approval. Okay, the governor did not appoint his ESCO until after 8 months. And then COVID came, and they have to have physical meetings. So it was then, what do you call this, virtual meeting that we were having. So it kept me there for too long.
As in Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom meeting. So, but my point is, my people was always supportive. Every time I wake up, they're there, feeling for me, and they, talk to me and make me feel like what you are doing, we appreciate it. And, so if you see more than 90% of your people behind you, encouraging you, what else do you want? Because at that point, if I decide to leave and come here, I would disgrace some people who stood behind me. So then you pass up here, and then in America too, here we always say that quitters never win, winners never quit. So if you start something, you have to finish it. But on the question about how to, adapt to a situation that is hard, but because that's where I grew up. I didn't live Boke until when I was 22, so I know the terrain, I know the system.
No, but you lived here longer than that.
It doesn't matter. Like I said, the love for my people, cut across every other thing. Everything I was doing for them, I'm still doing for them. They appreciate it, and I can still do more. So when I get home now, 2 days in Lagos, I go back to my
The fresh air.
Yes, fresh F4, fresh eja. Oh my pa fún mi ni.
I like it.
Yes.
Odun so. Ngbo ma da electrical fẹ́ lọ sùn na.
Àwọn èmi asun dada àwọn F4. So, but we thank God for everything.
Oh my God. So like comparison, can you comparison to the phone when you're living here, when you're living back there?
Well, there's no doubt about it. That is like you always say here, it's a no-brainer. You cannot compare United States with comfort. And that type of said, but people always appreciate that, like living the comfort zone, now staying at Boka because you want to contribute. I can always walk away tomorrow, and when I get to the airport here, welcome, no matter me.
Welcome, yeah.
I've had that blue since 2002, so I don't, it's not like I just got it. But what I'm saying is, ilé náà la bọ̀ sí lóko.
Ben.
Mo wá sọ fáwọn tí àwọn sọ pé àwọn ọmọ kábíyèsí gan rí tí n bá wà bí 40 years tí n bá wà lẹ́yìn náà lè máa pè mí bàbá Amẹ́ríkà.
Ben.
No, seriously. So if I can come in and go, why don't I, and like I said, I've told myself that after 20 years, I'm going back. So if you still remember what you've promised yourself, so you should not look back. You should just keep going. Because now I've checked myself, and I've seen success over, when I left and back then. We thank God for America, everything is good. But it's up to you. It's an individual decision to want to go live there or not. I'm not ilé bí ilé ọ̀hún lé lèmi náà wá sọ fún ọ tí bá fẹ́ kúrò nílé ilé ni mo tún padà sí. Yes, so it's individual decision, and it's moving from this place to Nigeria. It's what you call it? It's a gradual process. It's transition. You cannot just wake up one day and say, or to any part of Africa, and say you want to go back. It's hard. So, but for us, the level at which I am, there's some things I can get. And regular person might not good, might have a hard time getting to that level. You understand what I'm saying? So, I will leave that to individual to decide. But it's incomparable. But for me, it's okay. I can live with it.
You can live with it because it is you, and at the same time, you, even when you are here, it's just the bills just different. Normal bill on monthly basis, then everyday bills back in Nigeria.
Everyday bill.
So which one is the highest bill they are paying now?
Everyday bill.
Everyday bill.
Everyday bill.
Over to you.
Yes. Ẹ sọ kọ́kọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan kábíyèsí ẹni pé ìlú fẹ́mi lóye àwọn èèyàn especially àwọn youth like we want this yes n ta fẹ́ rè ibi n ta fẹ́ lélẹ̀ kí ni àwọn kan tẹ́tí put in tẹ́tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa ṣe tó jẹ́ pé in the next 10 years agbọ̀rọ̀ náà ìkókíá náà ti di small America o.
Of course.
Small London.
It's possible.
America yam London lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ lé.
Ṣé kíkà má ti.
America tó yẹ pọ̀ ó tó yẹ.
Ṣé America ni ọba wa ni.
Àpò ọdún balẹ̀ náà ó dé dọ̀bà. Well, thank you for the question. When I got there, I looked at some things. I saw business as usual. So I said, no, we have to have foundation. We need to, put our own program up, and then, they look at us as the previous Oba of the blessed memory, was educated too, but so they were looking at us with that pressure to do a different thing. So what I did was, I called the elites. Your brother was one of them. Those of them who are degree holders, PhD holders, professors. We have some of them in town. I said, let's talk. I want to do this. I want to do this. Give me an idea how we can go about it. So we set up committees on different areas. We have committee on education, on healthcare, unemployment, name it, safety and security. And, your brother, I think he's the chairman for education. Because one polytechnic for the previous governor, one abandoned up to now. We wanted to find a way to pursue that. I can tell you that if Ikpokia has a polytechnic today, it's like moving 30,000 people from the city down there, and you can imagine what would happen.
Yeah.
Any pure water matter, and total charge matter. But look at that,
Definitely.
So the economy of that place will be better. So while we have done that, Tinto Kuro and they just called me that they have approved a land that I was requesting. Other problem that we have in Nigeria is government takes over everything. About 40% of land in Ikpokia is acquisition land.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you take a look at 1978. So I picked that up when I came with the Minister of Agric. Why are you debarring us from development? Shop any woman will loot in never will looting. You mean you are to be that you loot me up any one. You very work when that. It will get a lot So long story short, we started arguing and blah blah blah. But I was fortunate. I met the gentleman who's like one of the agencies the federal government created one agency, but that community development agency. They came to visit with me, and I said, "Yeah, you have agency with border community. What care the border community? But in public law, what have you done for my people here?" So I laid it on her, and they said, "Okay, Captain, pick one thing that you want." And I looked behind me. Palace Lower. So I now said, I want ultra modern market.
Right. Okay.
To God be the glory, it's been approved.
Wow.
And then we're starting the groundbreaking on Monday.
Wow.
They actually delayed till when I come. And then there come the news of the refinery again. I don't know if you saw that in the news. There's a private company who's been trying to start a refinery in Ikpokia for over 18 years. They've been on it. Wow. Funding the problem. Well, 3 days ago, I know they cannot just walk up to the governor and say they're coming to be a refinery. They have been approved to start the project. It might take another 4, 5, 6 months. Also, we are doing a lot of things that in pipeline that will make life, comfortable, better, make people care, a great place to live. Very soon, in the next 5 years, there will be a turnaround in that place, by God's grace.
Ìlú fẹ́mi lóye, ìlú èdèdè fẹ́yàn lóye, nǹkan kan lèèyàn máa ń ní, ìwà ni. Ọlọ́run ní gba ìwà lọ́wọ́ yín lágbára Ọlọ́run. Gbogbo aráàlú tó sì rí ìlú fẹ́mi lóye tí wọ́n ń ṣe pé báyìí fún àwọn náà ò ní lọ sílẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Torí ẹni tó bá wọ́n ní ẹnìkan déédéé dé ipò láì jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run bá fi ọwọ́ sí. Béèyàn bá jáwé, béèyàn bá jégbò, béèyàn rí bí kó fòdè òṣùpá. Ó ní bójéwé là jẹ́ àtàrọ̀gbọ̀n ẹ̀dá ìbọ́lọ́hun tó léwé lè gbò ló fàṣẹ sí. Tí èèyàn bá já anything.
Tọ́kùn náà lè kọrin. Wọ́n lè kọrin.
Àwọn nǹkan.
Àá promote yín.
Mo ti gbàgbé ọ̀dọ̀ promoter bọ̀.
Okay, once a promoter, always promote.
He's a promoter. Tí mo fi fàyọ débẹ̀ yẹn ni pé nígbà tá a ti ń wo gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ń dùn dáadáa àwọn èèyàn ń pé ìlú fẹ́mi lóye ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ti ṣe báyìí wọ́n tún lọ àkọ́kọ́ náà pé ọba mi tiẹ̀ lè lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà kó padà nígbà ọba wù ẹ̀gàn ni ẹ o iṣẹ́ ńlá ni o iṣẹ́ ńlá ni o ọba náà ṣe báyìí láàbí mo fẹ́ sáré dé Houston
mo fẹ́ délé ọba tó nílé rí bẹ́ẹ̀
ọba nílé rí ok ní ìwọ̀nba tó kù yìí láàrin ìsìn síbi ọdún 5 kí làwọn nǹkan tí ó wù yín kẹ́ tún jẹ́ kí ipò kíá kí wọ́n ní tó máa jẹ́ nǹkan àrà tí ò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ní ipò kíá tó wà lọ́kàn yín.
ó pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí mo fẹ́ ti iléèwé yẹn sẹ́ ìjọba ò tí ì dá a lóhùn ìyẹn ṣe kókó ń sìn kọ́kọ́ nìyẹn àwọn ọ̀nà kan wà wọnú ìlú tó wà àwọn ìlú míì tó jẹ́ pé gárígádà ni kò ṣeé ṣe rárá ọjà kan wà ní ipò kíá mẹ́wọ́n pé lọ́jà túbẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn wá ń ná látìkò kò sọ́nà tó wọ̀bẹ̀ tó àwọn ọ̀nà yẹn tó ṣe kókó kí ìjọba bá wa ṣe gómìnà tó wà ń bẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú nítorí àwọn tó wà fún kíní coronation mi ní 2020 ibì kan wà tẹ́ pé tó bá ń wo tó wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ lè máa wò pókẹ́ lọ́kàn kan lọ́nà street ni wọ́n wà lójú kan bẹ̀ Súlẹ̀ àtàwẹ́wẹ́ wà nù 3 hours lórí òní gòsùlù mẹ́ àti wọn àfi dípò kí wọn ti parí pati ó kàn wá wò mí tó sùn ní wọ́n ní mo sùn èmi kò tí rẹ̀ mí ẹnu mi ti rẹ̀ aláì ó ṣe dé ni ó ní bàbá òun kàn ní kò ń yí ọ̀nà so after about 3-4 months lẹ́yìn tí ọmọ Dàpọ̀ débẹ̀ wọ́n bá wa ṣe ọ̀nà yẹn so à ń bẹ̀ wọ́n pé kí wọ́n má dúró I know there is a lot pẹ̀lú governor and they have to do a lot for other people so irú àwọn eré àyẹ̀wò à ń bẹ̀ dẹ̀ ní náà wà ó dáa but we have taken it up ourselves to start to talk to NEPA. But I always tell my people, we have to be careful on what we talk to them about because the reason I believe is it's not an about kilowatts, megawatts, in Nigeria. So I fell around the so the solution to our problem is solar. So we can work together with the company until they provide each out in solar. Why don't we do it? So in your area and then finally, I want to specially thank Chief Mrs. Merriman Johnson. The woman has been supporting us ever since I got to Ipokia. Last year, she started, this year, she started an empowerment for our Okpo. She gives 100 Okpo, 5,000 naira every month, which is 500,000.
Wow,
yes,
every month.
She did it for 4, 5 months, 5, 11. And the reason why she stopped Olori left because Olori was the one that was taking care of it. Now, when I came, she just purchased about, I don't know the number, but solar panels that can lighten up the street.
Wow.
I'm taking that home now. So if you get to Bukia from at the Waliba, we're really doing a lot of what we can do to make things better for people, but there's more that we can do. Oliver Twist, I'm very for more.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo jẹ́ kí sáré lọ sórí politics àbí ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ibi tó ń lọ.
Ọ̀gbẹ́bìnrin kankan ni nǹkan tẹ́ sọ fáwọn ìjọba pé a fẹ́ yìí nǹkan tí wọ́n ti ṣe fún wa appreciate ẹ̀ nílùú àtúnfẹ́ mọ́ ǹjẹ́ nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ fún àwọn ọmọ ìlú tí wọ́n wà ní káàkiri everywhere tó jẹ́ pé and they are doing well at least now wọ́n ti rí pé nǹkan ti yàtọ̀ ṣe ní anything tẹ́ sọ fún wọn pé ẹ máa bọ́ ẹ mọ̀ nǹkan kan báyẹn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ṣe olóòtú tó jẹ́ ọmọ ìlú lòun náà
tó jẹ́ kó ronú lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ìwọ náà ti wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀.
yóò wà nílẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ṣẹ́ kan lọ à ń sọ fún wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń wà nígbà tí and part of what they keep saying is kábíyèsí bá lè wá jókòó síbi tálàwà. You know, aláwọn ọmọ tó ń ṣe dáadáa gan, I won't lie to you, we have billionaires among us, among them that can, yes, but ṣe mọ owó ṣòro náà irúnmúlò ó ṣe fàṣọ ìkànnù wọn wà sí tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe ground breaking for estate mo ṣe gbọ́ lánàá ni but tí n bá délé mo ṣe fẹ́ lọ find out owó mọ̀ máa pè mí ni tó sọ fún gbégbà tó bá máa ṣe mí ni màá kàn pè mí kí wá because àwọn èèyàn wa náà ìmọ̀ ìtara àwọn kankan wà mẹ́ lọ́tún lọ́sí. So what I'm saying is for me now being there living there most of the time majority of them are coming home. Your brother for example he works at Ife and he come every time I ask him to come for a meeting because he's the one guy that when he stands in front to host a meeting you'll be happy.
Wow.
So and then tell him to write. So we help them in numbers. Yes, it's wonderful, brilliant man that we are blessed to have. And there are more of them who are coming. So I keep appealing to them. Feel at home. I just can't pay you. I just talk about you. Phone seeking.
I'm busy.
Chicken.
I'm chicken.
Yes, get out. I just can't pay you. Oh, you want to pay me? Oh, any conversation.
Oh, quite a garbage.
Oh, come on. Come on, Ben. Come on,
it's fun, and I can see a lot of people have been having fun back home. And for those that are watching us that are African American, you can see Kabe is speaking very good English. It's just because we have to still mix it a little bit for people to know that again you gbọ́dọ̀ gbé villas tí orí kó tún mú ìrùkẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ kẹ́ wá ní ká máa ṣe ìbójújùjù náà bí ti gorí. That was why we're trying to at least put it together. I hope you guys will be with us. Please. Now going back to the government thing. Were you kings coerced to do some certain things, or is there any way that you tell government that this is what you want for the populace and they accept? Because they will be like anytime but what do you see to that?
Well, first of all, I will tell you straight up that government is our God these days. Yes. Unfortunately, that's the way. We were talking about it the other day. In those days, Oba is Akpashewa, Ìjọba ló ń pàṣẹ now. But at the same time, they listen to us, they hear our cry, and then they try to do the best they can. The best is still not enough. I always say one thing and they don't like it, and I'll keep saying it. Nigeria is the only country in the world where the politicians will use our money to do something for us, and they want us to
clap.
Praise it's our money, not your money. Once you sign off, I tell my people, I say, I'm here at your service. It's just that my seat is glorified. Think about it. Kábíyèsí Abẹ́òkúta kíní kan ṣe bá wa lọ. Ṣé ẹ ti sọ méjì ránṣẹ́ ni?
No ti ya.
Bá wa bèrè kíní kan gómìnà dá lóhùn. Ránṣẹ́ yín ni mo
jẹ́.
Same thing with any elected leader. You are elected to serve people. You are not our boss. Until we get that correctly, then maybe when they are alone, we will understand. But it's the fact. You're spending our money. I see a whole lot of governors go around. Hey, I give my people. Am I not doing well? You should freaking do well. That's our freaking money. You understand what I'm saying? So my it's our money that you are spending. So
how do we applaud you?
You should do something for us. And then another thing they do is they serve their people and abandon and marginalize some. You cannot do that. And then when they say, oh, when it's your own turn, when your own people get there, they'll take care of it.
Oh my God.
It does not happen like that in the civilized world. Democracy is for all. Leadership is for all. You are not a leader for certain local government or certain set of people. You are leading everyone. So it should be, equal rights and equal opportunity for everybody. The government, they are doing their best, but like I said, the best is still not enough. And we still have to do a lot for our people by ourselves. I know what I go through, my little change that I get from here, once in a while, to help, the helpless, because the people are hungry. Nigeria is rough. I'm not going to lie to you. We thank God that we're there, we're doing well, but there are a lot of people that need help. The government is not doing enough for people. So the government said, I don't know if I should give them pass mark or just say they are doing their best, but we need more from them.
But there's no way you can advise them because they are paying you guys, right?
Yeah, we get salary, even if it's paid. We get salary.
That's how bad it is. Somebody cannot give you money and you want to advise. You will be like, what is he saying?
Yeah, I mean, but then they come to us. Like, okay, a couple of days ago, governor who is running for second time was at a meeting with our Obas, and they tendered everything they think we should get from him. Whether he's going to do it or not, like I said, he has done some, but there's still more. We still don't feel like we belong to the core Ogun State because majority of the development projects is, what's called, is centered in some area, and we're still not
on Woju.
The Woju game. So, well, we can only ask. We can advise, but they'll do what they want to do.
They'll do what they want to do. So that now puts me to the other question that what are the Obas? When I mean Oba, I don't mean only Abeokuta Oba or I mean all the Oba in Yoruba land. What are they doing to be able to push themselves a little bit up? That the government will not be the one to tell you when you have to go and to use the restroom, to tell you when you have to go and lay down on bed.
Well, thank you for asking that question. It's unfortunately, there's nothing we can do right now. Remember, we were discussing yesterday, and it was about this election movie. And you can remember how long ago that even the white people has been rubbishing traditional council. Remember, we talked about it, and then the government picked it up from there. In the days of Paolo and Co., they've dethroned Obas like that. So the government is our guy now, and there's nothing you can do unless we have a restructure. And we are working on that. We will not be quiet. It will be helpful once we start having monarchs, kings in the lawmaking process. At least starting from maybe even the local government council. Or
hold on, Laide Bakare. Laide Bakare is on. We are live with Kabiyesi. Are you watching us?
You are live.
Yes, live. I have. Oh yeah. I thought you were watching us live. Okay, don't worry. That's Laide Bakare anyway. So
So what I was saying is, we can get there, but it won't be easy. It won't be easy because with the whole power to run the traditional council reside with the state government. They give us approval. They do so. We have to look for a way to do restructure to bring that back. So we're not going to stop. We're not going to quite be quiet. We're talking, but we can't make it loud until we get something positive to talk about. Then God help us.
The issue of hierarchy in the Kabiyesi is, how do you call it?
I know what you're saying.
There's hierarchy, there's like a Miloba, I'm first class Oba. How do you deal with that? Because a lot of people will be Oba of Asians, but it's not as older as those that doesn't even have, you'll be like a Miloba one. So how do you deal with this?
You just have to deal with it. See, let me tell you something. Yorùbá sọ pé alára ló ń gbára ga.
Adìẹ tó fẹ́ wọlé tó bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kábíyèsí o.
Ọba kọrin sọ fẹ́ pé òun kéré wà á mọ́ra wa. Yes, of course, because the history is there. If you have history, you know. I'll use myself as example. You might not know me, you might not know my kingdom, but I know who I am. I know my history. You cannot tell my history. I'll tell my history myself. I'm the 46th king of Onipokia. So put numbers to it. Let's say each king spent 10 years. That's over 460 years. And it's more than that. That we've been in that place. If you check Yoruba history, you hardly find any of even the top hierarchy kings that had up to 35 or 40. Except for where I live, Alafin, Awujale, and some that has up to 50 or more. I'm 46 Onipokia. And Agbadi wa láti Tatimboni. Beni, Tatimbo, Agbadi, Ajabaleri. A lot of big towns, big cities in Yoruba land that had ballet in the past. There are a lot of them, but they will not mention. So, Amora, Oshuruso, Amorawa, Etobano, Oshuruso, Jabale, Dada, to Jelula, the Mason say, really ballet anymore. But because of politics money and influence. Things are taken. So, and to jẹ́ ó kàn mọ́ governor tí wọ́n sọ di first class. They are first class. So that you rule major low and do. As of pay your first class.
That's it.
It happened in my council too, but Amara we know, and our primary rulers know. They know the history.
But is it only know alone, or do you have anything to do with that?
Yes, they will have anything. I give you an example.
Okay.
When I go to, and that's the place that you find out. If you have a chance, go there. When I go to Ogun State Traditional Council, my seat is in the first row. Nobody's. We sit like in the stadium. The first row. Oba, the 3 Obas from Egba, 3 Obas from Remo, from Ijebu, and Yewa. I am always in the front. Myself, Oba Dodo, Ati, Oba Ayeturo, Ahmed Atawa Junior.
The ancient ones, the most
historically, yes.
ones.
And what our Obas follows. So
Okay.
that tells you something. And when I met my primary lawyer before I went there, he told me, in the past, someone would just come and sit there because it's first class. So they had to redesign it. I said, no, so I'm more. Well, we get to our traditional council, we but you sit where you belong. And they hear some other names that they 3 or 4. So even what you
As okay,
you know what? So I'm more. But it's always it's been like that because money to play into all these things. If you don't have money, they will rubbish you. Because about to share Jelano, Tiba, don't need Rolls Royce. You want to go to that camera. What the party don't want to lay down?
Oh, go to that camera.
Come say Lord Rolling.
Mo fẹ́ bèrè kankan.
Miss.
With this now, is there as a custodian of culture
tradition,
and the tradition, do you have any plans to document these things? We need to documentaries or.
Yeah, that's the issue that we have. Well, some of us have, some don't. Until they link up, because they never told you. So if you go to archive, it's there. Because white people came then, and for example, in Batofe Koroko Lumi, it's two more Pokiani Opoko Araisile. During our adventure that Kuromita Timbo, the families kept breaking up. And couldn't them find a because on the non-job and do I the connect person. So some people will break away then. So at a point they finally got to Pokia, and then back in the course of breaking off, almost surround the Opoko Araisile. So to balo we town in Bokole, Epokra, not because Epokra. If you want to say it. So some of us has history that are recorded, but we need to let people know.
Exactly.
People don't know.
People are
working on that.
Kabesi, you've worked with a lot of star artists, actors, actresses, and all that. And I used to say something. Tó bá ń ṣe nǹkan fún Ọlọ́run, jẹ́ kéèyàn náà mọ̀ sá. Jẹ́ kéèyàn náà rí. Kó má di pé Ọlọ́run ló rí pé mo kúkú ń ṣe fún ẹ. Jẹ́ kéèyàn náà mọ̀ pé ò ń ṣe fún yàn.
Ọlọ́run rí mi, Ọlọ́run rí. Jẹ́ kéèyàn náà rí.
Jẹ́ kéèyàn náà rí.
Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́rìí, Ọlọ́run rí.
Èèyàn ló máa jẹ́rìí. As it is, you have all of them together. Are you thinking one day that you want to put all of them together to make that Ipokia Itan come to a reality?
Yes, I have even been approached by, some names in the industry on that. The person that comes to mind now on that is Lady Ara. That Ara, that was not the one here in Houston. There's this lady called Ara.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a drum beater and all
Ara,
that.
okay. Yeah.
She's big. She's all over. She's a wonderful person. She came and then she said she has seen a lot about Ipokia and she wants to write something on it. And I think we'll be starting that project early next year. She actually went as far as saying she can facilitate movie village in Ipokia.
Wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's
part of the thing I was saying earlier. It's not about what you gain now, but when people start hearing about you, they want to do something for you. So yes, the history will be put into a movie, but we want to be careful what we do. I just won't do anything. I've seen a lot, and you have to have standard to do things so that people will buy into it. You understand? So we're working on it, and it will be coming out very soon, a year or two, maybe less.
Okay, I want the standard to be the kind of everybody can watch it on Netflix and everything.
That's what we're going.
So
Awesome.
by God's grace, it will be so.
Amen.
Lọ́lá àwọn alálẹ̀. Kábíyèsí àwọn tìgbó kí á máa wò pé kábíyèsí ò ṣèdè wa kò tí ẹ kì wá. Ẹ bá ń sọ oríkì yìí ní Ìpòkíà. ṣe àti àwọn tí wọ́n wò wá tó jẹ́ ọmọ òpó kíá pátápátá káàkiri Amẹ́ríkà ni òtún ẹlòmíì ò délé for 30 years báyìí ọmọ òpó kíá sì ni bó ṣe ń wòye ló máa ní kábíyèsí mi rèé ẹ bá ń ṣèdè kí ilé ó mú ọ.
wọn ní ọba mi rẹ.
ọba mi rẹ.
ọba tèmi nìyẹn. àwa ni ọmọ ìpó kìmẹ̀kún ọmọ aṣúdẹ̀dẹ̀ ọmọ àfàtàríwòrán ọmọ jàtàn gbójú ọ̀run bọ̀ wálé ọmọ ìyámọ̀wẹ̀ tó fi gbogbo ọmọ bí ọba ìpòkíà tí ìpòkíà bá ní ìpòkíà ò kò yá aṣọ ara wáwẹ̀ yìí lè má bá wọn bẹ̀ o gbọ́n tó máa ń kíra wa ní pé ọmọ àgbà jìjì má gbó nílẹ̀ èmi fẹ́ wá yí àwọn bàbá sọ pé àmọ́ yìí pé ó ní ohun táwọn bàbá yẹn rí ń gbà yẹn torí bí ìrìnàjò àgbàjì tí ò ní gbàrà irú pàpà láwọn nù.
ó tọ́ ni
ó àdìgbé wà á kó lórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì fún rárá wọ́n nírọ̀ ó ní ìdí táwọn ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ pé àgbàjèjì má gbó nílẹ̀ pé ńgbà tá ayé ojú sí dúdú olùwọ̀ ni wọ́n fi ń ṣe so wọ́n àgbà ọmọ nílẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ yànkè.
ok
tó parí mo ní wọ́n ní máa yí o
mo yọ̀ǹda
ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wà nílé àwọn wà ìdí ni wà ní sọ yẹn
wà àwa náà wà níbí
èèyàn wà nílé àwọn wà ọba fòkíà ní sọ̀rọ̀ Yisa ní sọ̀rọ̀ o ń kí ilá o a ní sára fẹ́ àlẹ́ wa ọmọdé ń ṣé àárín nǹkan jẹ inú wa bá dùn ọkàn wa balẹ̀ kò ní ṣòro ṣe wá o ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má gbàgbé ilé o ilé làbọ̀ ìsinmi oko àwọn náà ti lọ lé oníkan ṣe ń kàn wá ẹnìkan pa wá ẹnìkan yín pẹ́ ẹnìkan jẹ ọba kan àjẹ́ kan yìí jẹyàn bájẹ́ kan wá jẹ mú chicken fún kí àjẹun wáyó ṣe é ti gbọ́ abẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi mẹ́ràn àmàdà fún wa ọba atọ́kùn rẹ̀ rí èdè ní gbalẹ̀ apá ẹ̀rẹ́ rí èdè ọ̀run náà
bí o ti àwọn ibi tí mo fẹ́ yìí
ọgbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ méjìlá èdè ọ̀run náà ẹ̀rẹ́ rí sáà ni àṣà ìyẹn
Nàìjà atúrà ẹ̀gọ́ èdè pọ̀ o.
Àwọn lọ sí gbogbo eré.
Ọ̀dọ̀ tọ̀dọ̀ wa náà ọgbọ́n dè ní ọwọ́ ọgbẹ́. Ilé ajélé tó jẹ́ ìtẹ́jẹ́. Ó sì ṣí gbogbo eyín wájú wa jàjà.
Àwọn lọ káàkiri wà á dúpẹ́. Ẹni tí ò bá lè sọ ti lé kì í ṣe ọmọ lé.
Kò sọ ọmọ lé.
Ní ọmọ lé lè aṣọ. Àlọ́ àti ṣe délé ẹ̀. Àwọn tí ìta làwọn dàgbà sí.
Ìta làwọn dàgbà sí.
Àwọn ọkọ̀ díẹ̀.
Ngbọ́ ọjà
làwọn wá. Ewu kẹ̀ jẹ́ gírẹ̀ jẹ.
Over to you.
Wow, honestly, this is a great honor. Thank you once again, Kabiyesi. Thanks for honoring our invitation. And honestly, I feel I'm very proud.
Wow.
Yes, Mo, I'm very proud of my Kabiyesi.
Thank you so much.
I've always been, even before, let me just say this very briefly. I met him before he became the Kabiyesi. Yes. And honestly, with everything, tí mo go around, bọ́n ṣe and all that, mo pé ọmọlúwàbí ni wọ́n.
Thank you.
Wọ́n tún wá di Kábíyèsí, mo pé Ọlọ́run ti plan ẹ̀ náà ni. Ó dẹ̀ ti gbé yín débẹ̀. Ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tó lọ tẹ̀lé ti plan yìí, Ọlọ́run ló fi sí yín lọ́kàn. Àdẹ̀gbàgbọ́ pé Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó ṣe é ṣe lélẹ̀. Ṣé rí wọ́n ní ìgbà tí yín yìí, ẹyẹ á máa ké bí ẹyẹ lọ́wọ́.
Eku abe kébi eku.
Eku máa ké bí eku.
Ọmọ ènìyàn máa wọ fọ́ọ̀mù. Máa fọ́ọ̀mù.
Bí ọmọ ènìyàn. Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn.
Tó sọ pé ìgbà ilé á máa rójú.
Ìgbà ilé á máa rójú.
Àgbo ilé á máa ráàyè.
Àgbo ilé á máa ráàyè.
Àwo ni ìyàwó.
Àwo ilé á máa ráàyè.
Tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Àbí kò
ó ti dà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó má lọ ní pé yóò wọ́n ti lọ́la kó má dojú oorun kó má ní ìgbà ilé á máa rójú.
Yóò nílà.
Thank you so much. Ọlọ́wà kí olórí.
Ká tó ju Kábíyèsí lẹ̀ kó tó di pákó lórí ètò yìí. Kábíyèsí kan wà ó máa ń kọ́ àwọn olórí ìjọba ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ pé gbọ́sẹ̀ mi ò dáa wọ́n á lẹ́ fáìn ẹni tó bá mọ̀ ló mọ̀ bí tèmi ò sọ tèmi dé nìyẹn. Olórí mélòó ni ká máa wò láàrin oṣù mẹ́fà sígbà táwa yìí.
Ló wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn alálẹ̀. Àwọn alálẹ̀ ni.
Ṣé
tó bá ní méjì tó bá ní mẹ́ta tó bá lè jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ náà ni. Àwọn alálẹ̀ ni.
Àwọn alálẹ̀.
Àwọn alálẹ̀.
Kábíyèsí ẹ̀ dà sí alálẹ̀ lọ́wọ́.
Alálẹ̀ lè sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìnyí.
Alálẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀.
Alálẹ̀ lè sọ̀rọ̀
ilé alálẹ̀ wa.
Alálẹ̀ ló ẹni tó ń sọ yẹn náà àwọn Ifá ló ní kó mẹ́ bátàlá ni bàbá ń lọ. Yes kò ì dúró.
Mélòó lọ́wọ́ báyìí?
Ọlọ́jà ó mẹ́fà. Àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láìpẹ́ yà á tún bẹ̀ síkà.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ pé 13.
Yes tí alálẹ̀ bá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà fáwọn àti Ifá ló bá pọ́n lábàá bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Lábàá bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Mo trust alálẹ̀. Mo trust
alálẹ̀ ò ní ṣe mistake. Kò ṣe mistake lọ́hùn náà.
All right, guys, this is the king of Ipokia Kingdom, one and only Oba Yisa OLANIYAN Olusola, the Onipokia of Ipokia Kingdom, Oba Oshiginkeji. Ìkan ni mo máa ń like nínú oríkì wọn yẹn. Wọ́n lè on fi head wòran, imagine.
Àwọn àpàtàrí wòran.
Ọmọ àpàtàrí wòran.
Wọ́n bẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tó wá lè báyìí, mú rẹ̀ ń gan ni.
Ṣé ó ń wo ẹ̀rẹ́ yẹn? Ó kàn tiri wálẹ̀ ni. Ó ń pàtàrí wòran ni. Kó tó ní pé a máa kúrò lórí ètò yìí pátápátá, ẹ bá mi kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn yín tẹ́ ti fi sílẹ̀ ní Houston for a long time. And people that you are going back home to meet, and you can add it together. What do you still want to tell people that we haven't asked you as a question?
Thank you so much. First of all, let me start by saying, most like the late Labo Simeko. Whoever can speak a better English can translate that. The house is there about Simeko.
Yes, where the heart is.
Yes, where the heart is.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We will always have something to do with our roots. And that's why lately you've seen some Americans trying to find their roots. Maybe tell you, maybe you don't know. Some of them are envious of you, that you know where you're from. Some of them don't know. So don't forget where you came from. And I know things are not easy back home, but our people still need us. Whatever you can do to support our people, please do not hesitate to do it. And if you're one of those who's planning to go back, plan it very well. It's not easy. It's a transition, something you have to do one step at a time. And thirdly, going to Nigeria these days, find out very well. The security reports is not too palatable. It's not that bad. I have an uncle who has lived in California for 40-some years. You know, accomplished guy, was an engineer, came back home, bought a home in Lekki, and you know, he's doing very well. Before he came, the report he was, you know, hearing scared him to death. But the wife said, yeah, Shebi, we agreed that we'll retire home after we're done here. Let's go. So for the first 3-4 months, anytime he's going out, you just see him like this at the back of the car. So after 5-6 months, he said, when he was leaving the U.S., it was more or less like, even before you step out of the house, you might get shot. But they have not done anything. I said, yes, because, you know, it's happening to people, but it's not that bad. And you're right, in the U.S. we had 2 people get killed. Right. I have a sister who has a shop that people went there and stabbed her not too long ago.
And he's here in the U.S.
Yeah, so things happen. But my advice is, you know, don't forget where we're from. Do things the right way. And finally, let's love ourselves. Before I left here, you know, something that I went through that has been, you know, our way of life. Some of us left Nigeria years ago, but Nigeria did not leave us. We still talk about ourselves badly, we backbite, you know, we envy ourselves. It won't take us anywhere. Look, in this country, everybody for themselves, you know. The Mexicans will Mexican. The Indians will work with Indians. So Africans need to get it right. Up to this moment, we don't have African people who has bank. We don't, not ordinary, cooperative bank we don't have. It's because we are not, you know, together in unity. Look at the Chinese, the Indians, they're doing wonderfully well. So there's a way we can do it to bring ourselves together and stop, you know, hating. We're aggressive people. Nigerians are wonderful people. We were talking about it yesterday. There's no trade that you bring in or skill that Nigeria will not compete. When I first got here, it was real estate. We did wonderfully well. Then it turned to IT. We were doing well. So, as a matter, we'd rush out all other, you know, what's it called? Race. They bar for us. We do well in everything, but we're still short in area of unity, love, and affection for ourselves that can spark development. Because let me tell you, in any area where, or in any community where there's hatred and, you know, backbiting, what's it called?
Not working in
development unity. That's why I pitch my people. We need to love ourselves. Put behind us all the, you know, bickering and in a disagreement and all that. To work together and because if there's disagreement among ourselves, if someone is coming up with a better idea, someone will say, no, kill us sorry. So let's live in love. Let's not forget whom God Almighty will be with us. Because I know you will say that. Amabe, Beshin Beshu. Bí àtẹlẹsẹ̀ ṣe ń tẹ̀nà bàbá ń lọ àmàdé ojú ní tiwa o ojú owó kì í pọ́n dàda tó bá tẹpá mọ́ṣẹ́ ni o.
Kí dàda mọ́ṣẹ́ tó ṣe o.
Kí dàda máa lọ iṣẹ́ láàárọ̀ torí kò ní igbá owó kan igbó àmàdí ṣe o àwọn àdọ́mọ̀ sí àṣàyà sí ilé wa ò ní dàrú o balẹ̀ àmàrójú àwòlé aráàyè bàbá ń lọ àmàdé. Irọ́ ọkú ni wọ́n ń pa mọ́kọ́, irọ́ ọkú ni wọ́n ń pa mádà, irọ́ ọkú ni wọ́n ń pa mókè, ogún ọdún lénìí. Gbọ́ngbọ́n ìtòkè, òkè gbọ́ngbọ́n ìtòkè. Bàbá kan ní èrùgàlẹ̀ kó dìde, èrùgàlẹ̀ ó fẹ́ gbọ́n bá ní.
Ó fẹ́ gbọ́n bá ní. Ọba ti fẹ́ pé tẹ́rùgàlẹ̀ bá dìde, ìrẹ̀kẹ̀ lóko àbí ìrùkẹ̀ lóko ti kábíyèsí ó lò epo nìyẹn.
Àwọn ò ní bá wọn kúkọ̀ wọ̀wọ̀.
Àmì àṣẹ, àmì àṣẹ.
Ọkàn wa balẹ̀.
Àmì àṣẹ.
Ìṣòro ṣe fún wa.
Ṣe kábíyèsí.
Ṣé ń ṣe ẹ̀bẹ́gbẹ́ pé ẹ̀bọ́gbà pé ẹni ṣe lásán.
Àmì àṣẹ kábíyèsí.
Ohun tí àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ báyìí tó ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣoríire o.
Àmì àṣẹ.
Àwọn èèyàn tó wà ní CNN wọ́n ṣe jù yín lọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n owó ń gbó tó dáa. Àti wọn náà rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
Àmì àṣẹ. Kábíyèsí ká tó máa lọ, kí ni kọ́lọ̀ tẹ́ láìkì jù?
Blue. Royals blue.
Kò yẹ pẹ́ rárá ó ti wà lórí.
Ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ ti ń wò pé mèrè ni.
Èmi ìlú jẹ mọ̀.
Búlù ni ojú ọ̀run kan
àrùn ọba iná wà lẹ́yìn tí àwọn.
Búlù náà ni.
Wàhálà yìí.
Kí ni ilé ayé lọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀yìn? What's your own philosophy?
Kí n ti láyé bàbá Ráfíà.
Ẹnìkan ló kọ́ ẹ̀wọ̀ ayé mọ̀yà ní tèmi.
Ayé kéré gan ni. So it's easy. The way you take it, you take life is the way you live it. You think ayé is big deal and you start worrying about life. You just know what you're doing and just take it easy. One step at a time, you get there.
All right. Ibi tá a fi àdàgbà ètò sílẹ̀ ní rè oníyanṣẹ́run alámàlà náà ṣe oní gbogbo ẹ̀ náà tún ṣe àwa tá a sì fẹ́ jẹ́ náà a kó àìbínú lọ́dọ̀ tèmi ń bí mo kọ́kọ́ ń kí ọba láyélúwà ọ̀sìngín kejì ti àríwégbadé ti a kankan di onípòkíà of Ìpòkíà kingdom oníkábíyèsí o ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú dìde ojú òní tiyín a máa rí yín bá ọ ní àsìkò tiyín yìí Ìpòkíà ti ń yàtọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ti ń sọ àwa ò tí ì débẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n bí a ti ń gbọ́ wọn ní kábíyèsí má dàbí pé ó máa ń fi touches kan sí mo ní touches kan kí ọ̀jẹ̀ yọ pọ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ìkan tèmi ó gba gbogbo àwa àti àwọn wa ní àmọ̀ràn láti ṣe ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ní òṣùṣù ọwọ̀ kó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ohun tá à ń ṣe wọn ò ní lè bá ẹnìkan tí ó wà jáde tí ọmọ sọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni dáadáa màdánù máa ń ṣe ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe papọ̀ ẹ sì mọ̀ pé yóò sì dá lágbára lọ́dọ̀ lọ́wọ́ Bùkọ́lá ká tó máa lọ kí ló ní tó fẹ́ sọ ká tó kẹrù ńlẹ̀.
adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run this session has been very enlightening and we have all learned like we do here there is a lot to learn and from our king. You've learned a lot. I have personally learned a lot. And I want us to hold dear these precious words because honestly, they are words to live by. They are words to live by. And even as you go on the weekend, keep enjoying yourself and
kábíyèsí ẹ̀yin náà sọ fún wọn pé dàbọ̀ká tó máa lọ.
Ẹ ṣe wo wọlé ojú tẹ́ fi ń wò wá ní fọ́ tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ wá ní díò ìpàdé wa láyọ̀ ẹ ṣe o ẹ máa wo ABN TV.
Dúró kábíyèsí fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ABN TV jẹ́ kí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀. Let's Abby talk about ABN TV now.
If you are watching us now, keep watching. Don't turn it off. ABN TV is the best in Houston. Let me say in America now, and it's coming to be CNN soon. CNN of Africa.
Oh yeah.
So keep watching us.
Okay, this is what I will now want from Kabiyesi now. I want you with the American accent that my name is so. I am the king of so. Keep watching ABN TV.
Yeah. All right. He wants me to do it the local way.
The local way.
So, gentlemen, ladies, my name is Oba Yisa Adeniyi OLANIYAN. Onipokia of people. That's why my son Onipokia of Ipokia. Keep watching ABN TV. They have wonderful programs, wonderful people, and the presenters, they know what you're doing. So keep supporting us. this is our own thing, this is your thing, and we can go places with it. Thank you so much for supporting us. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Kábíyèsí. My name is Shina Ayo Oyinlola. Teku ńlá ràdá tọmútọmú ńlá fẹ́bìrin ilé bàbá tó bí mi lọ́wọ́. Ẹni àlàátàláyà àtàtà lẹ́nu àtẹnu àtàyà bákan náà igeleku. Mi tí mo bá nájà tí mo dáná mo bó ṣàjà mo sì dó ṣà. Ni mo bọ́ lọ́wọ́ bàjá Ọlọ́run bá ló dá mi ẹni Ọlọ́run dá ni mí mo ṣe farawé o. Tí wọ́n bá sì ń pẹ̀gàn èèyàn kan wọn níbẹ̀ o má ṣàlàyé pẹ̀gàn ẹ̀ mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n iwájú lọ́ọ́ máa bókè ń tọ̀hún láṣẹ Èdùmàrè torí ẹ̀ ló fi yẹ kọ́ ọ má pẹ̀gàn èèyàn torí kí wọ́n náà ò lè ga. Ọlọ́run wọlá àtòní má jẹ́ ayé mi ó bàjẹ́ o má jẹ́ kó sú mi ṣe o má jẹ́ ń wo ẹ̀ ńjọ́ kan kí n wá ní kí n kán odò ní òkú má jẹ́ ó jẹ́ tèmi láṣẹ Èdùmàrè kò sì ní jẹ́ ti gbogbo àwa tí à ń wò wá láṣẹ Èdùmàrè títí di ìgbà míì tẹ́ tún máa bá ń pàdé.